Hi, my name is Barrie Crampton. Today I'm going to show you around this Hyundai IONIQ 5. It's not ours, it belongs to Just Motor Group, the Just Hyundai dealer at Preston there. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, then I'll take you for a ride in it.
It's a 2021 21 plate Hyundai IONIQ 5, 73 kilowatt premium automatic, has a top speed of 115 miles per hour and an engine power, according to this spec sheet, of 214 brake horsepower. A 12.3 inch touchscreen satellite navigation and media center, driver's supervision instrument cluster with full TFT display, that's 12.3 inches as well, lane keep assist, parking distance warning forward and reverse, dual LED headlamps with low-high projection, rear LED combination lights, and Apple CarPlay and also the Android system too. With a 350 kilowatt charger, the IONIQ 5 can charge from 10% to 80% in just 18 minutes, and with a short 5-minute charge, that can add up to 100 kilometers of driving range.
In all honesty, I'm not that clever, and I know you'll be thinking, Baz, you're a car salesman and you're not that clever, how come? But I printed the spec sheets off on these vehicles and there's just far too much to remember. I'm going to try and cut it all into the video, but there'll be things I'll miss out. Sadly, I'll miss out, probably important things I'll miss out, but I'll try and show you how it drives in an impartial, since I don't like electric cars, in an impartial way. You see the door handles there, so everything flips in. You come back to the car. Let's just see. So it's got keyless entry, keyless go. This is an extra, apparently. It's an optional extra that they flip out. Otherwise, you just have to put your thumb in and bring it out. Just in there, in case you can't get in or the battery's flat or something, there's an actual, just in there, there's a little key for a blade. So that's a good thing. In the mirrors, we've got the side impact protection warning. You've got these plastic, well, is it plastic? Yeah, plastic wheel arch protectors there, and the bladed style diamond cut and gloss black alloy wheels, Michelin Premium tyres. Got these rectangular headlamps, the front parking sensors, a very distinctive front on it. Under the bonnet, you've got a little bit of storage area there, but what I do particularly, I mean, I like good design, and obviously as cars are coming on, crumple zones and all the safety issues of today, I do like to see, in the old days you just had a bonnet with kind of a frame welded underneath or glued underneath and pressed in around the side, but this, instead of just a frame, it's a complete double skin with slots of varying thicknesses and lengths, which I'm assuming is designed to slow any impact from the front down. The slots get larger and larger towards the back, and they're just like little, about 6 mil at the front there and longer. So, I mean, I can't knock it. It's obviously an excellent design. It's a flat floor pan, so there's no gear tunnel in the front, no kind of centre console, and no prop shaft tunnel in the back for the person who is unlucky enough to sit in the middle to have to straddle. So it is real good design. There's a design theme throughout the car, and it's these little squares. You see them in the mirrors here. I'm assuming it's something to do with the charging, because when you open the charging flap, these little squares that show you how full the battery is. Although it's grey, it's a metallic grey, so it's very shiny. Dechrome around the windows. There isn't any privacy glass on this, rear privacy glass. There is a new model, which I'll try and remember the features. They did tell me at the garage, but as I say, in one ear and out the other, sadly. The stripes down the side. I saw a review of this car by Robert Llewellyn, who plays Crampton on Red Dwarf, and like he said in one episode, it's got all in and outy things. There's the car also looks a bit like it was designed by the same bloke who did Crichton's face. This kind of angular lines down here and so on, and straight. I suppose it's meant to look futuristic, and it is futuristic. There's even kind of the lines along there. I would be interested to see what it's like when there's salt on the road, and what sort of patterns the wind flow around these wheel arches create, because as I say, there's kind of slats in the wheel arch protector. It'll make for an interesting spray pattern. So you've got this very interesting rear integrated spoiler. You can perhaps see up there, there's vents in it, so that I don't think it hasn't got a rear wash wipe, so those will be designed to keep the airflow off the back window and keep it clean without the need of a wiper. Press and hold. The back there is power open, power closed tailgate. That's the reversing camera. There's quite a lot of luggage space, although that is fairly flat. Underneath here you have the charging cable, the granny charger, your tyre kit, and then there's right, I'm just going to put those keys in my pocket, make sure I don't lock myself out up on this usually deserted moor. So this is quite a good thing. If you come up here, you're off grid or whatever, this socket plugs into the charging socket, but you can then run an appliance off it. So if I press the end in there like so, and then pull it apart, it's a bit of a tough job pulling that apart. Having said that, I've bust my hand, so I'm only using one hand. So there's the 3-pin socket in there. You can plug that in the charging socket, and any appliance you've got, if you want to charge something else or work something, if you're out here, I don't know what it is you'd work, but perhaps, I don't know, I was going to say a generator, but you wouldn't need a generator if you just plugged whatever it is into here. 3-pin socket in there, and it will run any electrical appliance. So that's a real good idea. The back seats will slide forward, that gives you even more room. The back seats will go down, then it makes it massive. And then your power closed tailgate. We've got this square theme again on the back there, and again the slats which match the front, and then you've got the graphics up the side, the rear parking sensors here, and of course no exhaust. The charging flap. So charging flap, hold, there you go, that's the charging flap. With the charging flap, the little close button, so you're opening it with that, you don't press it down, you just click the close button like so, and that's it, all done. So here we are in the back. One of the things I've noticed in the back here, it's there you go, headrest just sticking your back if you're a bit taller, but there's bags of headroom, and I've also noticed these door panels, they're quite wide, quite deep. If they weren't there'll be a reason for it of course, but if they weren't as deep, this back bench seat could be another 6 inches wider really, 3 inches on either side, which would then make it absolutely enormous. I do know from other videos I've watched that it's got a longer wheelbase than a Range Rover, and I noticed on the way up it does really iron out the bumps. Of course, I suppose electric cars will have an advantage over internal combustion engines, because with ICE cars all the weight is kind of up the front there, or in an old 911 at the back, causing up the old problems, but you'll be able to spread the weight more evenly and get it more balanced. So therefore you should be able to iron out the bumps easier, I would think. So this car on the way up drove brilliant, and also very, very smooth, pretty quiet. I wouldn't say it's too much quieter than perhaps a Range Rover, but I've got to say I did enjoy it. This car has cloth seats, the whole bench seat is cloth. The newer model has a bigger battery. It'll do 315 miles on a charge, supposedly. The newer model has half leather or part leather, and I'm assuming the part leather will be where this charcoal grey cloth is. You've got 2 USB charging ports in the back of the front centre armrest for the rear passengers. There is a handle here that takes the seat forward, and also, yeah, if you prefer sitting straight up or you want extra room, then of course that's what you can do. Has little vents in the B pillar there, which are adjustable and you can switch off, so direct the airflow straight to you. Parcel nets, it goes without saying, it's a new car, and or newish car, and a demonstrator, so it'll have the mats in, which I'm trying my best not to get dirty, but this car park is kind of grey and sandy, so I'll have to do a detour on the way back to Just Motors and get it hoovered out. I don't want them lending me a lovely car like this and then me taking it back dirty. They'll think I'm an animal. Rear centre armrest, 2 cup holders. You've got the Isofix child seat anchor points in the back seat here as well. Lovely car, very, I've got to say, very, very comfortable. I've got my seat where I would drive it normally, and I've got bags of leg room in here. There is plenty of room. Okay, I'll just take you for a ride in it. Okay, just lose the jacket. Here we go, so that's the keys, foot on the brake, press the start button, everything's on, that's ready to go. What's that saying? When you select start, the screen will turn off and the navigation update will start, or navigation update, so no, we don't want it to do that. So, right, so that's the screen. As I was saying before, the more electrical appliances and accessories you use, the more the range decreases. If you'll see there, it's 109 miles at the moment, but as I turn the fan up, you'll see it going down there. So we'll knock that down a bit. And here we go. Here's your gear selector. You've got park in the end there. We've started the car, so if I turn that, we'll just knock that to drive, although I can't see there. The sun's in my eyes, the gear is already selected, so it's thinking, Baz, you're an idiot. The handbrake has automatically come off. I am going to have to put some air conditioning on because it was cloudy before, now it's gone very warm. I'm not sure which mode I've got this in, but I was experimenting with the regenerative braking. You can almost get it to being a one pedal driving experience. So here we go, we're off. Got 107 mile range. That polarized lenses don't help viewing, I'm afraid. And I can't actually see how to get that to, I mean, I can see how to get it to nav. If I switch nav on, then I can see how to get it to home. Ah, I know what I should have done. This has got Apple CarPlay, it's got Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming. That's lumbar support there. Electric driver's seat, I can move it backwards and forwards. Height and reach adjustable multifunction steering wheel. All sorts of going on this side. I need to get on the motorway or a straight road to try and demonstrate those, but honestly it's just so complicated. that's the dash there, as you see along there. I will stop, I will plug Apple CarPlay in because that's a lot simpler. But you see there, climate. I mean, that's just stuff that, in my opinion, you shouldn't be able to access a car when it's moving, because it's just, I mean, it's just information dump. It just, I'm just like a switch. Car drive's fantastic. The reason I brought it up here, and the Just Hyundai at Preston were kind enough to lend me it for a good few hours, because I come up here nearly every day and I test all our cars. We sell Range Rovers, Jaguars, Land Rovers, BMWs, Audis, Mercedes. That's what we try and concentrate on. They all drive very, very nicely, and I have to say this drives nice. You can see there, if I accelerate, you'll see the blue line going there. I'm using more, and as I decelerate or take my foot off the accelerator, the regenerative braking is putting charge back into the battery. So with this, I've got it turned right the way up, and you can alter it with these paddles. These aren't gear selectors, they're the paddles for the regenerative braking. As I knock that off, you feel like it's a gear change, but it's just not. It just allows it to go, it allows it to move freer, and I suppose there's not as much, well, there's not as much regenerative braking. It's a heck of a lot smoother, I've got to say. But as I wind it up here, there you go. I might have gone too far there, but as I'm going downhill, I haven't got my foot on the accelerator and it's just charging. That's slowing it down a lot as well, because I'm almost stopped and I'm on the hill, so I'll just change it. And we're going a bit faster. I'll get past certain death corner, and then I must remember to take photographs of that. As I say, it's just, it's too much for me to take in. No doubt some 9-year-old will look at that and go straight to all the controls. All the material in here feels really nice. As I was saying before, it's a wide car with a long wheelbase. And thanks to Johnny Smith's video, he informs everybody that it's got a longer wheelbase than a Range Rover, which you just wouldn't believe, but that makes it more stable on the road, I would say. And with the regenerative braking on, it makes like a, when you take your foot off the accelerator, it makes like this tiny whine. Little things please little minds, but I like it. I don't know whether you'll be able to hear that. Of course, I'm just going to stop here quickly. I'm not touching my phone. I'm going to have to touch my phone. Right, stopped, off, handbrake on, phone in. I need to get going because it's not the best place to stop. So that's off. Again, it's trying to give me an update. That's the worst with electric cars. Apple CarPlay. Click on Apple CarPlay. I can see there out of the corner of my eye my phone screen was changing, and now I'm on Apple CarPlay. That's the best system ever. So easy. So I can just put that on maps. Now I've got the lights on, haven't I? So if I turn the lights off, that's brighten the screen considerably. I was struggling to see it before, but I should have known really. We're in a bit of a traffic jam here. I don't really want to go any faster. This is fast enough for me, especially in somebody else's car. So Bluetooth hands-free, Bluetooth audio streaming. We've got the sat-nav, normal sat-nav, but then, as I say, I prefer Apple CarPlay. And got my audio books on here. I can also ask it or tell it to do stuff. It should be from the voice activation. I should be able to do it from there. I don't know which the voice activation one is. I think it's that one. So if I keep my finger on there you go. Navigate to Preston. It probably won't do it because there'll be no signal here.
1 sec.
Yeah, it's thinking about it, but it's that simple. As long as you do it before you set off.
Something went wrong.
And
Please try again.
And before you lose signal, it's brilliant. Coming over that little humpback bridge there, that's a teller for some suspensions, and it was fine. I'm going to pull over, let all these people pass that are in a traffic jam. Let them go past. There you go. You drive like maniacs when there's sheep on the road. That's no problem. So your heater controls there, your normal heater controls. So from that dash, I'll just actually, while there's nothing behind us. So if I go to that screen, and then I go to Hyundai, you see there you've got EV, map, navigation, climate, heated seats, I'm assuming that is, yeah, heated seats on, off, internal air circulation, just front climate, I'll knock that off again. What I wanted to show you was radio, media, Hyundai Live, that's where you put the phone, that's where you do your phone. Where's the settings? EV, we'll try EV, I don't think that's it though. EV, all your distances, no, that's not what I wanted. Climate, Valor mode, Blue Link, Apple CarPlay. Oh, settings. Right, vehicle settings. This is where, there you go, drive mode, driver assistance. So the driver assistance here, we've got driver attention warning and also lane safety. Click on lane safety. You've got assist, warning only, or off. Now, blind spot safety, why you'd want to switch that off, I'll never know. But your blind spot safety is a little triangle in the mirror, and anybody in your blind spot, I didn't do it there because we're stopped, but anybody in your blind spot, put a warning triangle. Warning safety. I must get onto the motorway with this, or at least a dual carriageway. So I'm probably going to turn around in a minute, otherwise I'll just keep going through country lanes, and I'm sure that's not what people want to see in this vehicle. I'm a bit of a control freak, full disclosure, control freak, mate. You can set it. There's a button here, lane. They're actually very difficult to see, but it's a lane, or the road markings with the steering wheel in the centre. You click that, you'll see on here, it's a very, very wide vehicle. You can certainly tell the large wheelbase, because it does, when you go over a bump, it does feel like the corner of the car and not just a bit further, obviously. So it's a very, very stable car. Acceleration there. There's also here a mode button. So if I click on the mode button like so, you'll see there it shot forward, it went into sport. That's eco, and it drains the life out of it. And then normal. On here, I can't see any kind of indication that gives you a sign for the regenerative braking, apart from you can just feel the car surge forward when you knock it down a little bit. There, that must be on kind of minimum. We're just rolling. I'll take my foot off the accelerator and we're just rolling. So I'll knock it one further up, knock it again and again. There we go. That's quite aggressive. So we're going along here doing 35 miles an hour, and then take my foot off the accelerator, and we're slowing down quite quickly. We were going downhill then, not uphill, but it slows to a virtual stop. I'll just see if there's one more. No, that don't feel like there's one more. And there you go as well. It's showing you this car's done 3,525 miles, showing you how much is left in the battery. So I think it says 40 kilowatt hours there. And then in the center, it's telling you it's 18 degrees outside. We're coming to a hill here, so let's get some electricity back. So it's saying here we're doing 3.5 miles to a kilowatt hour, I think, if that's right. So here we go, regenerative braking on. Still coming down there fairly fast. I'm having to put my actual brake on. That's loosed it off a bit. I'm sure there will be a sign somewhere, but I can't see it. That feels like it will just coast forever. Ah, no wonder, Baz, how stupid. Mind you, you've got to have 20/20 vision to see them. So that should be maximum. Maximum regen. Let's just see, I'm going uphill again there. But if I let my foot off the accelerator, we're slowing down quite rapidly. So 48, let my foot off the accelerator, and there we're slowing. Will we stop? pretty much stopped. With a little bit of forethought in your driving, which is how I would drive a normal car anyway. I often get criticised for putting the car in neutral and coasting, letting wind resistance on the tyres, I suppose, and just slow you down. People think that you're out of control, but when you come into traffic lights, it's, oh, you can't accelerate if you're in danger. But if you come into traffic lights and the traffic light's on red, everybody else is slowing down as well. So just behind this tractor with the regen braking on, it's I have to say, once you get used to that, it will be quite handy, you know, for different situations. Obviously you don't want regen braking on the motorway, I don't suppose, when the traffic's just going, so you want it to be as free as possible. Here I'm not having to brake at all, just take my foot off the accelerator when the tractor slows down, and then it's pumping power back into the battery. That's only time would tell, and using it for a while to get the best out of that. The display there showing you the power, and then also here where you are. Big display for the time and so on. And then you can magnify it like that. I'm going to try and do a voiceover, because I mean it's got a Car of the Year award. I think it's for 2022. And there's several other things. Oh, the recharging plug, that socket that you have for charging other things outside the car. There's also a plug socket under the back seat in the middle, so you can plug anything in. I don't know, perhaps recharge your laptop or work off your laptop in the back seat. We've got power folding door mirrors, which you saw when I locked and opened the car from outside. There's something in the car, like a screw or something that's rolling about in the glove box, which reminds me, the glove box, when I just get up here, nothing coming. If you open the glove box, it's a drawer. Now, that's a good idea. The normal glove box is you pull the flap down, and then everything that's been stuffed in there comes shooting out. So it can't with a drawer, it's got to stay there. The regen braking slowing me down again. I'm assuming that's auto hold as well, because crikey, it just won't stop. It just won't stop. They will not stop. all in a big traffic jam. Frightened to death of losing the place in the traffic jam. Front central armrest there, there's a bit of storage space in there, 2 cup holders. You've got a power socket down there and the USB, and the USB is the plug to plug in for your Apple CarPlay. Then at the back here, there's 2 more USBs. Those are chargers. And I think that's an auxiliary in. It is a very wide car. Let's try the power folding mirrors. This is a nightmare. Apple CarPlay back on, that's my favourite. So we've got 4G signal there. Now also we've picked up, I could feel it then, it's picked up the markings in the road. So it's showing me I've got the lane departure warning. So unless I indicate and I go towards the centre line, it will pull me back. It's also got another feature which I discovered on the way up. So hopefully my batteries will keep going long enough for me to get on the motorway and demonstrate it, and hopefully there's not too much traffic on the motorway. So we'll get round here. So I'll knock the regen braking down. There seems to be a diversion here which is making it virtually impossible to turn left. Oh, look at this. I'm having a nightmare here. Ah, dear. So navigate to PR5 4AE.
Getting directions to Preston PR5 4AE. Starting route to PR5 4AE.
So it's as simple as that. Well, actually, I'm nearly out of coffee, so let's try this. Take me to Starbucks.
One option is Starbucks on Capitol Way in Preston. Is that the one you're looking for?
Yes.
Getting directions to Starbucks.
Route in progress. Are you sure you want to end navigation? Yes, I want to go to Starbucks instead. It should automatically go. Yes, it has
Starting
done.
route to Starbucks. Head east on Hampson Lane.
So that'll take me, that's where I go every morning. It's probably remembered that. I'm sure there's a Starbucks in Lancaster, which I'm not too far away from. And to be honest, I could be here for a while. I'm going to turn that down a bit. I've got a 103-mile battery life, so I've got plenty of charge to get me to Preston, hopefully, but as you can see up there, nobody will let you out. There's a van at the front who can't get out, I think, and I'm stuck in this traffic, which is a bit annoying. These cameras are they're getting pretty hot already, and we're just not moving here. It's very bad. If I could do a 3-point turn here, I might do a 3-point turn and go back the other way. We need some bolder drivers at the front, and unfortunately, when I'm in somebody else's car, I'm not a bold driver. I'm a very careful one. Just trying to cool the cameras down at the moment.
Turn left onto Main Road.
Yeah, come. I'm going to cancel that. Cancel navigation.
Okay, it stops now.
That's the blind spot warning. Yeah, the bad news is, as you can see there, the traffic, they've shut the motorway, which is very, very annoying. I'm just looking where the next services are. The blind spot warning light's coming up in the monitor as well. You see there, that's this button here. If I click that, if I click it again, green light's coming up. It will actually steer. It's steering me. So it's just keeping me going. You see the traffic on the other side. I'm in a predicament now. I've borrowed this car. I've got to get back that way, and this traffic has just stopped. At some stage I'm going to have to turn around. But I'm going to have to charge the vehicle rather than risk going on that. Motorway. Stupidly turn the wrong way and come a completely different way. I'm going to come off at the next roundabout and try and make my way back. There's just no chance on the motorway, no chance at all. Okay, I'm going to finish the video here. With range anxiety, I should be okay. And there will be plenty of places to charge between now and home, and I'm going to stop and plot my route all the way back. Love the car, actually. It's very good. I like it. Can't complain. Look at that idiot outside lane with the trailer. Let's see how we get back. I'll let you know. Okay, let me just fill you in from the last time the camera was on. The motorway was closed. I was heading in the wrong direction with all the traffic queued up on the right hand side, and actually stopped. I had a massive case of range anxiety because I'm not used to driving electric cars, and realised that I would have to loop round the back and come back to where I was filming, and then back through the back roads of Preston to get, Hyundai, just Citroen in Preston lent me this car. I said I would be 4 or 5 hours. I've been over that. I have rung them, and they were fine with it. If it had been me that lent somebody else a 40 odd grand car, I'd have been chewing my fingernails now, but they were great. So what I had to do was come all the way back round the top and to Quernmore. The traffic was, everybody else was doing the same, as you would expect. The motorway was at a standstill. The people on the motorway were stuck, couldn't move anywhere. the other people who'd already taken a diversion were all queued up, nose to tail, through the country lanes. It was horrific. And all the time I'm thinking, geez, you know, I've only got 90 mile. It's only 30 mile home. I've only got 90 mile. But in a petrol car, that 90 miles ticks away when you're stopped in a traffic jam. And you're going to say, oh, it's kind of stop-start cars, they don't do that, Baz, and you hate stop-start. Well, no, stop-start, do switch it off until your air conditioning or whatever brings it back on. However, the electric cars, don't use anything when it's switched off, or very little. So I've managed to get back, so long as nothing else bad happens. I've got 69 miles still. A couple of things I've found while I've been driving and the cameras have been off, that I stopped for something to eat because I'd not had anything to eat since last night. And reversing out, I couldn't, somebody parked right next to me and I couldn't see. So I'm reversing out, and these blind spot warning lights, it's also, the steering wheel was buzzing. What's that? Looked on the screen and it's warning me it's not safe to reverse out, which is a great thing. Honestly, I could study this from now till I was 90 and still never pick up all the things that you can do with it. It's just, well, it's just beyond me. But the more you get it, the more you study, the more you drive it. It's showing me there the speed limits of this road. I've found the speed limit system in the middle, which is from this button, and you can change it from here. So that's the switch there. So that's giving me trip information. That's a compass, which I always think is useless. That's the tyre pressures. And back to the speed limit system. This is the bit I was telling you about. That's clicked, the steering wheels, pictures of the steering wheels come on. I can set cruise control. Get around here and set the cruise control, and it will steer me as well. It'll keep me at a certain speed and steer me. Let's see, is that it? There you go. So that is steering me. Not like that. It's lost the lines there, but it's steering me, and it will do so until it loses the lines. It's not actually showing me. It's got picked up a line on both sides. So I think it's just working off this, and this is just mostly guesswork on my part. Is that it? That steering wheel's green, gone off, so it's green again. Because I did notice before when I was going up the motorway, it had two indicators that appeared to show the lane you were in. So I'm not actually, I'm ready to grab it, but it's steering, it's gone off, it's not green anymore, so not the best because there's no line on the side. But as far as range anxiety goes, I'm a bit cured, especially in this one with 300 and, well, the one with the new battery, 315 miles. So that makes me happier. The way it drives, it's very, very good. I'm pleasantly surprised. I like to hear. You see, I've gone through the years listening for noises. It's partly been my job, listening for noises, listening for stuff that's out of place. And I do it when I'm on a plane. You know, I'm listening to the note of the engine all the time, and I'm thinking, you know, just in case I have to run into the cockpit and help the pilot out. But this kind of makes the same sort of noise. all you can hear really is tyre noise. I dare say if anything else went like a ball joint or whatever, or a wheel bearing, then, you know, I'm going to pick that up. But I do like it. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But the general manager at Just Preston, Just Citroen and Just Ion, his wife's got an electric car and he drives an electric company car. And when we were talking the other week, and I said I didn't like electric cars, he's been in the motor trade 30 years, I've been in it 50. And I think the important bit is that 20 years, because when I was going to the garage this morning, I stopped at Starbucks and there was two young ladies, probably 18, 19, having a chat. And one of them said to the other one, so much has happened in our lifetimes, 18, 19 years. And, you know, that they'll be referring to Brexit and all that lot, and Boris Johnson and the Queen very, very sadly dying the other day. So much has happened in our lifetime. And I'm 64, I'm 3 and a bit times older than they are. And although lots happened in my lifetime, probably in the last 10 years, the most things have happened. So I understand what she's saying, but more things have happened in the development of cars. They've got really, really good. They've got really complicated. They've got all this stuff that in the 60s was in a James Bond car, you know, and you could only dream about all this, and a mobile phone in your pocket. We had a thing with a big tick round, and you could only dream about these things, these minute telephones, and you know, I've got a video camera in my glasses, all spy stuff. All this is happening really the last 10, 15 years, I suppose, in the internet. But cars, the majority of my life was spent with Cortinas and so on, and carburetors, fuel injection. I think the first fuel injection car we got was an Opel Monza and a Senator, Jetronic. You know, before that was plugs and points, leads, condensers to stop the radio crackling. Every time the spark plug fired, every time there was a spark, and then you know, the motor trade goes along like so. Then all of a sudden, as the girl said, so much has happened in their lifetimes, and we've got electric cars like that. And this is probably what I can't grasp, I can't get hold of, because I'm like a motor trade dinosaur. You know, if this was parked, it's a lovely car. If this was parked to an Alfa Romeo Spider, a Duetta, a 68, I'd walk past it and jump in the Alfa Romeo, and then I'd go like when I was on holiday. I'd go about 50 miles and it'd break down. I think the motor trade has perhaps passed me by, which is why I'm setting my ways in everything, not just about cars, everything. Clothes, I still wear the same sort of clothes, the same style of clothes that I wore in the 80s as well. I'm just setting my ways. But honestly, I can tell you that you wouldn't be upset if you bought one of these. It drives superb. 66 mile left. I think I set off with I think it was 130 by the time I got off the car park. And I've done more. I've managed to eke out more miles with the regen braking than was on the vehicle in total, with the mileage I've done, with the total that's left, and what I've actually covered, because I'll have done easily 90 miles. So somewhere this vehicle has made its own fuel, it's made its own electric, and that's from the regen braking. So again, all my electric cameras here, I don't know which ones are still going, that one and that one by the look of it, but again, big thanks to Just, the garage on File Road in Preston, for letting me loose in this IONIQ. They have promised me, or they've promised me that they will lend me more, which I love Citroens. We sell a lot ourselves. We're not in competition with them. We sell older Citroens than they do, so they're not, you know, they're not kind of whoops, I've done it again, I've gone the wrong way. They're not helping the enemy, so as to speak. You know, I've only lived in Preston for like the majority of my life, and I went out with a girl up the road there, and I still can't find my way. Fortunately, with the Apple CarPlay and its own navigation system, even I can't get lost. It's just, I'm a bit lost for words really. Plus I'm trying to get back before they shut at 4 o'clock. It's a great car. So that across there, 38 miles an hour. If I click up there, 39, that's 41. You can also set the distance you want to remain from the car in front. So it's kind of distronic or adaptive cruise control. I think that's it. That's it. Your button there, which I don't know whether that's working. So with that, I'll finish the test drive. It's been a long day. Fortunately, I like driving, so it's not so bad. It's my day off today as well, so it's a bit of a busman's holiday, but I'm quite happy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. It'll probably be one of our cars, a used vehicle next, and also I'll keep you up to date with the purchase of my Citroen Ami, which I'm looking forward to, and thanks again. Bye bye.